stop. Before I show you anything about Boston, I need to warn you about what you're about to see, because what I'm about to reveal will change everything you think you know about religious freedom in America. Imagine walking through Boston in 1685 and witnessing something terrifying, a city so religiously perfect that imperfection has become a crime. Picture this. You're standing in Boston's town square, surrounded by the most educated, most prosperous, most godly society in America. But here's what's terrifying. Nobody dares speak freely, nobody acts naturally, nobody questions anything. Step into Boston, where the Puritan experiment has succeeded beyond all imagination. But success has created something horrifying. A community so afraid of sin that they're starting to see demons everywhere. They called it the city upon a hill, and that hill has become a watchtower where neighbors spy on neighbors, ministers control thoughts, and the slightest deviation can destroy your life. You're about to witness a society where reading the wrong book, wearing the wrong clothes, or even smiling at the wrong time could mark you as possessed by Satan. This is religious paradise, about to become religious hell, and I can prove it. The perfect trap. Here's what nobody tells you about Puritan Boston. It worked perfectly. By 1680, Boston is the most successful religious society in human history. Harvard University, the first American college, thriving commerce, the richest colonial economy, perfect morality, no crime, no poverty, no visible sin. But here's the terrifying truth. This perfection isn't natural, it's enforced. Every single day, by everyone, on everyone. And the psychological pressure this creates is about to explode in the most famous witch hunt in history. But that's not the scary part. The scary part is how they built this perfect society in the first place. The invisible prisons. Picture waking up in Boston in 1685. Before you even get dressed, you're already being watched. Your neighbors are noting whether you pray long enough. Your minister is observing whether you attend every service. Your children are reporting whether you read approved books. This isn't paranoia. This is the system. And it's working exactly as designed. Watch what happens to someone who steps out of line. Not a criminal, not a rebel, just someone who asks one wrong question or misses one church service. The social destruction machine. Here's how Puritan social control actually works. They don't arrest you. They don't execute you. They do something far worse. They make you disappear socially. Your neighbors stop speaking to you. Your customers stop buying from you. Your friends stop acknowledging your existence. You become a ghost in your own community. And here's the genius of it. You did this to yourself by choosing sin over perfection, by placing your individual desires above God's community. But there's something else happening, something the Puritans themselves don't realize yet. The pressure cooker effect. All this perfection is creating something unexpected, desperation for someone to blame. When everyone must be perfect, but humans aren't perfect, the imperfection has to be explained somehow. And the Puritans have found their explanation. Satan. He's infiltrating their perfect society through human agents, witches, people who look normal but are secretly working for evil. And once you start looking for witches, you start finding them everywhere. The signs of breakdown. By 1685, cracks are appearing in Puritan paradise. Strange behaviors that nobody can explain within their perfect system. Young women having fits that doctors can't cure. Unexplained deaths that medicine can't explain. Crop failures that hard work can't prevent. But here's what's really happening. The psychological pressure of living in a perfect society is breaking people's minds, and broken minds start seeing enemies everywhere. The coming explosion. The witch trials haven't started yet. Salem is still 7 years away. But if you know what to look for, you can already see the ingredients assembling. Neighbor surveillance systems, religious authorities with unchecked power, community members desperate to prove their own purity by exposing others' corruption. Social pressure so intense that people would rather accuse their neighbors of witchcraft than admit the system isn't working. The children's rebellion. But here's the most terrifying part. The generation that will trigger Salem is growing up right now in 1680s Boston. Children raised in this pressure cooker of religious perfection. Kids who have never experienced normal childhood, normal mistakes, normal human imperfection. And these psychologically damaged children are about to become teenagers with the power to destroy lives with a single accusation: the economic foundation. Behind all this religious control lies something nobody talks about: money. Puritan Boston isn't just religiously successful, it's economically dominant. Their ships control Atlantic trade. Their merchants accumulate unprecedented wealth. Their society produces more educated, productive citizens than anywhere in America. But economic success requires social stability, and social stability requires control. Perfect religious control. The witch trials aren't just religious hysteria. They're the price of maintaining the most successful economic system in colonial America, the intelligence paradox. Here's what makes Boston truly terrifying. These aren't ignorant peasants. These are the most educated people in America. Harvard graduates, successful merchants, accomplished ministers, people who can read Latin, understand theology, debate complex philosophical questions, and they're about to convince themselves that their neighbors can fly, transform into animals, and make pacts with the devil. Intelligence without emotional freedom creates the most dangerous delusions in human history. By 1690, everything is in place for the Salem explosion: the surveillance system, the religious authority, the economic pressure, the psychologically damaged children, the desperate need to find someone to blame for the imperfection that keeps creeping into their perfect society. And when it finally breaks, it won't just destroy individual lives, it will shatter the entire Puritan experiment and force America to choose between religious control and individual freedom. But there's something else about Boston that makes this story even more terrifying. Something about what happened to the people who survived Salem and how they rebuilt their society afterward. Because the real story isn't just how Salem happened, it's what Boston became after Salem failed, and how that transformation created the foundation for everything we call American freedom today. If you want to see how the witch trials actually played out, and how their failure created the religious tolerance that built America, you need to watch the next video in this series, because Boston's story is just getting started. And trust me, what happens next will shock you even more than what you just learned. Let me know in the comments which state you want to see next. We're covering all 51, and each one reveals secrets that will change how you see American history forever.